Hey, it's Romy. Welcome to the channel, Capricorn. Thank you so much for being here. If you are a Capricorn sun, rising or moon, then this is a general reading for the month of November, and the soul story may well resonate for you and give you some intuitive guidance for the month ahead. So let's check out, see what's coming up for you. Okay, Capricorn, so we're into Scorpio season, activating your 11th house of hopes and dreams. And the note that came up just as I was tuning into your energy was, if not now, then when? You know, we're coming to this point of time when finally so many of these planets that have been pushing and pulling and working on you over the last couple of years are getting prepared to move out and to move on, and as are you. So we open up the reading with the Two of Swords, and we have indecision, we have a choice to make, and perhaps a little bit of conflict that's going on within you. And yet you know that if not now, when is a theme that's going to be front and center stage throughout this month. So you're not really gonna be allowed, I feel, to sit on the fence through November. Energetically, what we're seeing is a time when Mercury moves direct on the 3rd, Mars finally moves direct on the 14th, followed by Neptune on the 28th of this month. So the energy is quickening and building, and there is this sense of urgency now to get things done, to allow the changes that have already begun to really come to a point of completion, fruition. And remember, we're also building up to the final eclipse season upon us again, as Gemini lunar eclipse takes place on the 30th of the month. And so you're going to be working with the echoes of change and understanding the karmic clear up that's coming into play, Capricorn, and really feeling a new sense of clarity, of motivation and drive. And yet here we have this slight holding back, this slight sense of uncertainty. And so I guess there is this moment where Spirit really want you to reflect within yourself that sometimes it just takes that real push, that kind of leap of faith, that risk, to just go for it, to just try, even when we don't have all the evidence, even when we don't have all the answers, because I think the energy is going to be pulling you and calling you and drawing you forward so powerfully. This month we've also got the 3rd of the Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions. We had one on April 5th and then again June 30th, and they've punctuated this year with this real interesting kind of disruption around the ways in which we realize power and influence, you know, the transformation and the expansion and the kind of push and pull that causes. And so we bring in the card of Judgment because you are ready to profoundly release, to come to a place of this decision. Now, what I like with Judgment following the Two of Swords for you is that it's kind of an inevitable process here, Capricorn. So like I said, you're not really going to be in a position where you have to wait, or you're being delayed, or you're being held back. This is in motion and it's happening regardless. Your choice is to embrace it and to go with it and to just say, to hell with it. I'm just going to take that plunge. I'm going to move. I'm going to go. And that way you're going to find that process more cathartic, more releasing and more liberating than I think you're even prepared for at this moment. Or you can fight it. And if you do, I think, you know, it's not that you miss out on any opportunity. Things always will come back around if it's in your fated soul contract to be so. But I think that you don't want to move out of this month of November and December as we clear up this time of all these planets being in your sign, Capricorn, and have any regrets. Yeah? And I'm not seeing that for you, because what does it bring? The sun. It brings this sense of joy, this emotional contentment and fulfillment that is wanting to be a part of your life now, to be a part of your energy. It wants to weave itself into the very fabric of your bones, you know? And so I think that what you are about to do, or perhaps have already done, or feel the sense of it building, is major. It's absolutely life transforming. And yes, there may be some dramatic finality, some endings that have come into play, but at the same time, the checks and balances have been done, and there's an infinite amount of new possibility, new energy, new success, new optimism, to be harnessed, embraced, and enjoyed, you know. The Eight of Swords, again, you know, very similar energy here, you know. She's bound herself with the blindfold on. We've got the ravens kind of pulling the strings. Maybe you feel like someone is pulling your strings right now, Capricorn. If that is your experience, remember that in both instances here, this is a change you can make within yourself. It may be your perception of a situation. Now, let's just pause for a moment and remember that when these planets move from retrograde, and we've had a deeply introspective time right throughout 2020 with the addition of both Venus and Mars retrograde in addition to the normal planetary movements. But when they move direct, things can feel a little bit disruptive in that transitioning time, and we're still in the shadow period. So that confusion, that uncertainty, that second guessing, you know, that can still be a little bit around, particularly in that first part of November. I would say that as we reach that new moon in Scorpio on the 15th, that really heralds a change. And then as we move into Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio on the 21st, and then the sun moves in Sagittarius on the 21st, there is more of a lightness, more of an energy, more of a clarity. So I feel that at that time, if you do have any sensations of just feeling like you're not fully in control, or you're not feeling as empowered as you would like to be, remember what's coming in for you, this beautiful sense of release. This beautiful sense of release. This feels honestly just like a once in a lifetime type of an energy that's around you. It has been around you really for the entire year. And if you're one of those Capricorns that haven't yet seen how that lands fully in your life, then be prepared between now and January to see that and to see it powerfully. Now, yes, that might mean that there is some stress that comes with it, because I think that, you know, any kind of change brings about that uncertainty and that feeling of what next, what now? Will I be okay? Will everything work out in the way that I want it to, the way that I hope it's going to? And with that focus on your hopes and dreams in that 11th house, then you would be right to be, you know, in that frame of mind. However, King of Wands, center stage here, looking fear right in the eyes and saying, you know what? I choose courage. I choose bravery. I choose vision. I choose possibility. I choose fire and warmth and passion and the ignition of something new. I bet on myself. And so that's what Spirit want you to feel, want you to harness, want you to draw towards you. Now, with the Sun and the King of Wands coming up, there may well be some Leo energy or another fire sign that we're dealing with in this instance. If that is the case, there's definitely some major decisions that are coming in and around this person or the influence of them in your life. And yes, there is some stress or some indecision that comes up. But what you have to do is really dig deep and to see where you've learnt the lessons and how these echoes of change are coming in now to give you the opportunity to launch something entirely new. Now, from a business perspective, I love the emergence of the King of Wands, so entrepreneurial in his outlook, prepared to take a risk, prepared to take a leap of faith because he knows it's going to pay off. You know, he's investing wisely, but also with one eye on the future. You know, there's a real kind of sense of being in step and in rhythm with the new trends, what's coming through, what's emerging. And so if you do find yourselves in any tricky situations that Eight of Swords might be bringing up, Capricorn, through this month, rest assured solutions, workarounds, and some innovative thinking is absolutely being deployed to make sure that you're safe, that you're secure both emotionally, financially, and that you are going to be prudent, careful, but also prepared to put yourself out, to step up, and to just make things work in your favor, okay? Now, with that Mars moving direct in Aries, it activates that fourth house of house and home. So there may well be some changes that are now taking place, some freeing up of energy, restrictions that have been in and around you in that sense. That could also tie into work locations, offices, places of work. So again, just be prepared for some energy shifts that are going to come in and around that area. With that lunar eclipse in Gemini activating your sixth house of service, you know, here we have the Knight of Pentacles coming in, nice earthy sign, of course could be reflective of you or another earth sign, but I'm feeling on regards to this, he's making his way, he's kind of sowing the seeds of potential and possibility. He's doing it methodically, he's doing it with a strong vision and purpose of where he's going. He knows there's a bit of a distance, there's a bit of a way here, you know, so where there are offers, new opportunities, things coming to light that you want to commit to or that you're focused upon, there is the understanding that it's going to take a little bit of time to really realize the full potential, but that's okay. By the end of the year, you're going to absolutely have a firm idea of what is possible and what is absolutely achievable. And it comes in on a real practical knowing, you know, so you are set to receive some kind of validation that this is the right way forward. You know, the Knight of Pentacles is not in the interest of going on a wild goose chase or sending you off in the direction of something that's not going to prove valuable or fruitful for you in some way. So whether that be in relationships, whether that be in your personal, professional, social, family life, this is about you making choices and decisions that you know are good right now, but also are going to give you some consistency, some endurance and some positivity for the future, something meaningful for which you can build upon, which I really like. So we have the Three of Cups coming in here, beautiful sense of support to help you achieve, to help you move forward. Perhaps you're seeking more support. If that is the case, even if you're seeking investment or if you're looking to tie up or come together with other like-minded people, there's a sense of celebration and things kind of falling into place a little bit, okay? But you do need to stay focused and you do need to put the work in as well. This is where the universe and fate can deliver a little magic, but it's also about what you get out what you put in, okay? You'll get out what you put in. What I like is that there's much more clarity that comes. Clarity comes this month, and with that, you are knowing what needs to be done. Now, remember, there's a couple of oppositions to with Uranus coming in that are set to bring some surprise energies, and again with that eclipse in Gemini, just be prepared for some unexpected twists and turns, okay? Even if you make your decision, perhaps there's going to be a little bit of information or something really pertinent that's been left out because you weren't supposed to know or receive it at that time, and yet it could come in before the end of the month or over the next few weeks. And that might change everything. So just be open-minded to that, okay? But like we said, it's a bit of a case of if not now, then when? You know, this is a time to move forward, to move past a lot of what has held you in a slightly lower vibrational energy. You know, I think you had to do the healing. You had to go deep. You had to completely meet those wounds, those aspects of the self that had become fragmented, that had become lost, and you had to gather them up and knit them back together and just kind of figure out who you were and how you wanted to move through the world moving forward, you know. And the thing with that Five of Cups energy coming through is that there's still beautiful possibility, even though there may have been some profound and significant losses that you have experienced and gone through, even if there have been some disappointments that have littered your pathway, there's still been so much that you've gained, you know. And this is about everything changing and new chapters beginning, and really you giving yourself the best possible chance in which to actually receive all that energy coming in, okay? So be open to the change and don't lose yourself into the past. You know, we're coming out of that retrograde energy, and, you know, it understandably asked us to go very deeply and introspectively into who we are, who we've been, who we want to be, why we've become the person that we have. And, you know, so much of that rich information has been valuable in helping to allow us to ascend to a different kind of understanding and conscious awareness. But now it's a time to just, with love, let that part of the chapter go so you can see what comes next, because actually what wants to come in feels really exciting. There's a sense of adventure to it. So let's allow that to happen, yeah? Now the 11th house also rules friendships. It rules those social connections, the way that we communicate and converse through technology. So that Three of Cups coming through is also just the reminder to explore and enhance those aspects of your lives. to make sure that you're giving yourself more opportunity and opening up to it. Your Oracle card is cleansing storms. You know, at the end of the day, eclipse season always can feel a little bit stormy, you know, but you've already weathered so much. I kind of feel like you're an old hand really at sort of dealing with the disruption, the change, and in some ways you're just welcoming this final release before the end of the year. You're welcoming it. You know that there's something really bold and beautiful waiting in the wings for you to seize. And I think if you're in the right mindset and you've got your thought forms in order, Capricorn, what you can do is actually harness the power of that storm. You can make it work for you, not against you. I actually see her, you know, it's almost like holding it in the palm of your hand. It's just like all the power is here for you, you know. This is really quite a magical time. And yes, some of it can feel uncomfortable and it does bring about that stress and uncertainty, but it doesn't mean that you have to think the worst or fear the worst, you know? This is not about tapping into influences that want you to go low. You know, this is about allowing something greater than ourselves to come in and make those sweeping changes and bring that cathartic healing to the surface that's necessary. And then we can start to see the opportunities emerging in really exciting new ways. Don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. Strong Leo energy coming up in this reading, yeah? So, you know, maybe with that 2 of Swords and 8 of Swords, there is something that you want to do that you're longing for, but, you know, for whatever reason, there may be a little bit of resistance. You know, you're not sure about having the conversation or going back when you'd kind of closed a door or, you know, wanting to revisit someone or something. Use that passion, use the understanding that's come from your heart chakra, that's come from your higher mind, that's telling you, you know what, there's something here and there's something worth fighting for, there's something worth going after. And if that is the case, then it is time to just set that ego aside and to just give yourself permission to be vulnerable. Give yourself permission to allow something to change, to transform, to end, to move on, so that you can just invite in the possibility, okay? If this is connecting for some of you into a Leo person or someone who's demonstrating those kind of qualities in your life, and this is maybe a conversation that needs to take place where we have to come at it from a little bit more humility. You know, the humility will matter. It will make the difference. And like we said, these echoes of change are really wanting to say to you that it's time. You know, I guess one of the questions I would like to say in this instance, Capricorn, is who are you when you're not addicted to the stress, when you're not addicted to the drama, when you're not addicted to the past, when you're not addicted to those things that have kind of infiltrated your thoughts and derailed you from going after what your heart really wants, what you know you're capable of, what you know you have the potential to succeed in or at. So when you understand that, when you know who you are beneath the surface and you can stay really steady and true to that, then pride doesn't even have a place at the table there. It doesn't matter because you're so sure of yourself, and there's no addiction, there's no unhealthy kind of energy that is impacting on the integrity of actually what it is that you're going after, or what you want, or what you feel ready to communicate or to articulate. So this is a general reading for the month of November, Capricorn. I hope it's given you a little bit of insight into what's coming up for you. Please do drop me a like and a comment if it's resonated. Remember, revisiting these readings throughout the month is really helpful. You know, the feedback that I get from clients is that oftentimes the messages start to make more and more sense as the energies unfold, okay? But regardless, you have some really powerful moments that are set to come through, and I think that Judgment and Sun is really the guiding light for you in this month of November. This is a time of transition and complete rebirth for you, and a time when you're supposed to start to feel the lightness of new energy that's coming in very, very strongly for you. Capricorn, if you'd like to join me for the extended reading, we'll talk for another 20 minutes. We go into a little bit more detail and in-depth into this reading and what more messages we can bring out. And I'd invite you to just think about a question that may not have come up in the general spread right now. And we'll go ahead and see what we pick up around that. Okay, so just clarify these main cards for us right now as well. So just beginning with that Two of Swords energy, coming in with Five of Wands. Definitely some inner conflict happening here to work through. Magician coming up. I just think there's a little bit of shifts and changes that are, you know, happening. And another Three of Cups coming in. There's maybe even a little bit of trickster energy you're having to deal with or navigate around. Eight of Swords again, okay. Maybe an impact a little bit around friendships or close connections as well. Definitely some fears that are emerging here, but there's more to the story. We'll explore some of these plans that you're making into the extended here. Five of Swords. Okay, King of Cups emerging here. Do we have a water sign that we're dealing with? Scorpio, Cancerian, or Pisces? Also got High Priestess energy coming in. Beautiful. Queen of Swords. Air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I think this fear of the unknown in some regard of your, you know, some aspect is making you doubt yourself or second guess a decision or a plan that you've put in place, but you've already done so much of the work and it looks great, Capricorn. Not a time to give up. It's a time to double down on your commitment. Look at that, two aces coming up, beautiful. Second card of Judgment coming through for you here. Again, you know, like, you know, Judgment leading to Ten of Cups, Judgment leading to the Sun, you know, that the outcome here is really positive. There's King of Wands showing up again, okay. Both the Devil and the World linking into Saturn. Of course, your ruler, Capricorn, going to be moving out of your sign very soon, the next few weeks. What sense of liberation you'll feel then. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If you'd like to join me for the extended, the link is in the comment and the description box underneath. I wish you beautiful, bright blessings for this month, Capricorn. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here. I hope you've enjoyed the reading, and I'll talk to you again soon.